We got commercials.
Man.
Look at that.
Hey,
We got commercials.
First of all, I just want to say I'm smiling over here like a proud parent or something, man. This is dope.
We got commercials. We got rejoin music. We going crazy out here.
Look, man, there's only one way up, baby. One way to go.
Hey, man, appreciate you guys for tuning in and rocking with us. That sponsors link is in the description below. Big shout out to Aura for sponsoring the show. Stay tuned in with us on that as well. Somebody Tricky said, dang, that credit score is crazy. The credit score was insane, bro. I'm trying to get mine up.
Right.
But no, let's jump back into this. I think we've had some really good conversation here on Ryan Poles. If you guys missed that, we kind of talked about Ryan Poles getting the call right. When did Gerald Levert join the show? Is crazy, Hayes. You wilding over there, dog, in the comments.
This man said, hey, that was some spicy music. I'm not gonna lie. That's why,
hey, bro. It is what it is. It is what it is.
A little suave, man.
A little suave. Let's jump into this wide receiver talk, though. There's some interesting wide receivers out here in the free agent market, and I think that this is going to be a really good year for the Bears, especially with the type of money that they have that they can start to put towards some of the guys that are available out there. I've got 10 names on this list that I think are probably your top 10 guys on the market right now. But I want to let you guys kind of crack things off with this. Where are you looking at in the wide receiver market? Where do you feel like, hey, said I ain't talking about the music. He got to be talking about C-Dub.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's got to be the hit them with the hair, because I know mine.
It's the hair. It's the hair. Where you guys feeling with the Bears free agency right now? Who do you guys feel is the best wide receiver target the Bears could go after in free agency?
Well, you got a couple names that I actually like. One that I really like, and it's crazy because this guy is someone that I kind of shied away from because I always felt like he was always one step away from an injury, but it never has happened. I like wide receiver Mike Evans from Tampa Bay. I think that obviously that's a guy that's up there. He feels the need that you want outside of DJ Moore. He's kind of a different type of wide receiver than DJ Moore. He's obviously got some height on him. He's a good possession receiver. He can go up and get it. He has all those qualities, those skill sets that you want in that wide receiver two. That is still a wide receiver one. Another name, underrated, I think, and I've always been a fan of this guy, is OBJ. I think that the Baltimore, for whatever reason, has underutilized him. I know he's a step slower. I know he's come from injury. But I do like OBJ at least coming into the building. That's just on me. I feel like he'll be a good underrated grab for the right price. Not no big bag, but for the right price, he could be like your wide receiver 3.
Yeah, if I'm a swing for it, man, let's go for T. Higgins, man. To me, top wide receiver that's available out there right now. And you got a guy that's even though he might have had I think he had like pretty much an injured riddled season for the most part. This guy can give you 1,000 yards, man, easily. And if this is your number 2 to DJ Moore, man, it can get crazy. This could be a number 3 with DJ Moore and MHJ. So if you got those 3 guys and maybe you got DJ in the slot, the other 2 on the corners, oh my God, the options are unlimited.
Yeah.
So of course, this is me saying this as if we're keeping Justin Fields, because I don't see us getting MHJ if we're getting Caleb Williams. But if we are trading back and we're able to stay in that top 3 pick and get and get MHJ, man, I'm loving the opportunities that we could have, man.
Yeah.
Or even if you do Michael Pittman Jr., one of those 2 guys as your third receiver or even the slot. That can be disgusting.
Chill, Hayes. Chill, man.
Hey, Hayes going in out here.
OBJ, come on, man.
Hayes going in on C-Dub out here. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know why C-Dub is catching. You know what it is? Hayes got a C-Dub on his shows too, and so he probably feel like you done took his name. His 2 C-Dubs.
I'm the original, man.
Technically, if we
be calling that man C-Dub,
I don't know. Hayes C-Dub is kind of old, bro. He might be the original C-Dub.
Yeah, he is a little older.
He got me faded. Hey, he don't spell. Do we spell it the same way? That's the other question.
I think so. I think y'all literally are the same dude. You just
same dude.
Never mind. I ain't even gonna do C-Dub like that. I was about to have my
different generations. Hey, you know what? Another name.
Hayes, man, I follow you, bro. I follow your content, man. We all good over here, man.
You know, another name I actually like that I think is underrated. This guy had a really, really good season, especially last year behind Stephon Diggs, is Gabe Davis. I think if he hits free agency, Gabe Davis would be a really good pick as well. And you can imagine, like even Calvin said, man, boy, the possibilities are endless. If we stick with Justin and we say we go out and get one of these guys like Mike Evans or T or Gabe, and then you pair him up with Rome Odunze and DJ Moore, this wide receiver room went from one great receiver to possibly 3 or 4 really good receivers just like that. Now you're talking about a special offense that can be built with Shane Waldron coming in the building. So those are the names that I like the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the name, and listen, the list I have here, this is from Pro Football Network. They got the 10 guys who pretty much are the top 10, and I would agree with this list on point pretty much. T. Higgins, Mike Evans, Michael Pittman Jr., Calvin Ridley, Marquise Brown, Gabe Davis, Darnell Mooney, who is on this team, who's already on the list, Curtis Samuel, OBJ, and Tyler Boyd, all free agents here. The part that does excite me is you're probably going to see T. Higgins set the market here, and the rest of the guys are going to get less than that. I don't think that, right? Maybe Mike Evans gets more than T. Higgins, but I doubt it because of the length of that. Does Mike Evans still want to be in Tampa Bay? That's the biggest question here with Mike Evans, because when you look at, remember the start of the season, he said, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, no, get me up out of here. I don't want to be here for Baker. Now they're going to a playoff game. Maybe he feels like something is still working. Maybe they want to get a contract done. They're a little bit closer on a number. Playing through the season changes how people feel usually, one way or the other. And they had a really good season where you get back to the playoffs. You not only win a playoff game, but you end up competing in a second one. I'd be interested to see what he's going to do. I would assume he's probably going to end up staying in Tampa Bay. I think Tyler Boyd is going to get the next contract here, probably over T. Higgins. What happened? He's still cooking?
Dude, Hayes need to get up out of here, man. Go do a show or something, man. Y'all,
The Rock, Gerald Levert, and Kale walk into a room.
Hey, when the Bulls play, man. Tell them.
hey, that's what he doing in here. He got 3 minutes until it go live.
Yeah, the Bulls play today, man.
So I think they probably end up going Boyd over Higgins there, because you still got some of the youth, and T. Higgins is going to go off and he's probably going to want a bigger bag. I think Pittman and Ridley are two of the interesting names, because here's the thing. You have your one here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. It's not like we're going out and we're looking for wide receiver 1 in this free agency. Not to say I wouldn't want 2 wide receiver number 1s, right? Because guess what? That works. I see it in Cincinnati all the time.
Yeah.
Right. I see it down there. I see it happening. It's fine. But if T. Higgins is available and you want to pay that money, maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know if you do, because of the wide receivers that are available in the draft this year. Even if you miss out on MHJ, Rome Odunze could give you T. Higgins production with less money on his contract, and you don't have to go out and pay a free agent wide receiver. What is a guy like Michael Pittman going to command? What is a guy like Calvin Ridley, who to me kind of had a little bit more of a down year this year than anything? I think, but even with that though, right? If you're looking at that already, if you're looking at a Calvin Ridley, if you're looking at a Michael Pittman, what's there to say that you don't just re-sign Darnell Mooney? Now, Pittman,
I'm good on that. I don't know what it is, but I
think
I'm good on that. I think that the chemistry has been lost between him and Justin ever since he has not obviously been the one. I don't know what it is, man. He's not sure of himself as much as he was in the past. I don't know. I'm not willing to take another chance on Darnell when you have all of these other options that have proven more in the league already, and then also the options that we have coming out of the draft, even other options outside of the first round that I've talked about in draft profile breakdown that you can get that are potentially better than what Darnell Mooney is right now. I'm good on him. But my thing is, and I like what somebody said in the chat, Tricky Trip said he's a great wide receiver 3. I think that if we go for a receiver in free agency, we should probably try to pinpoint somebody that can play the 3. Or be a slot receiver.
Your rookie's going to be your 3. Right? Like
if it's Rome Odunze, though?
On this list, if you sign Michael Pittman, if you sign Calvin Ridley, the rookie's coming in and is going to be the 3. Even if it's
I
a
see
great
what you're
rookie.
saying.
At first.
Yeah, right.
At
That's
first, right? It
like,
doesn't mean he can't move up the chart. It depends on the size and different things like that. But I mean, Michael Pittman coming off his best season of his career with another bad quarterback. Let's be real. Like Anthony Richardson, cool. Like, but he ended up basically being a run first quarterback that was trying to just run everybody over. And so you end up having Gardner Minshew. You end up having, right, like all these guys come in. He still ends up with 1,100 yards. Doesn't end up with, I think he had finished the season with 4 touchdowns. Nothing crazy. But he's got a 4.5 40. He's 6'5". Like, he's a big body. He's Chase Claypool that's a little slower.
And that's without a real quarterback.
Yeah. He's Chase Claypool, but he's a little bit slower.
But a lot slower.
I don't even know if he's like Chase Claypool's a 4.4. Michael Pittman's probably a 4. Probably just over a 4.5.
Yeah.
I mean, like I don't know what he's added in his time since being in the NFL. Maybe he's gotten a little bit quicker since then, but like a big body but you know what he will do, even if he is slower. And Brian Urlacher talked about this with players, and it really stuck with me. I think he said this on CHGO. He said, I'd rather have a player that can play it, that runs a 4.5, but can play at 4.4. Basically saying, I'd rather have a player that maybe he's a little bit slower. Jack Sanborn, a little bit slower than what you would expect. But no matter what, he knows where to be. So
you're going to get the right play out of him
in 4 seconds.
Yeah, he knows the angles.
He's running 4.5 or he's running a 4.3 in the wrong direction. Or he's running a 4.4 to the wrong route. Right? That's what we've been dealing with Claypool here.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a 4.5 that knows what he's doing, and Michael Pittman to me is a guy like that.
Yeah, that maximizes his potential. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna put up 1,100 yards and you don't have a real quarterback, and you might not even command a high contract, I mean, I think that's the way to go, man. Especially if you're gonna put him as your number 2, and then, like you said, depending on who we draft, that could be the number 3. It's just so many different options. There's so many different ways the Bears can go with this, man. It's like our team should be set offensively, man. If we keep Fields, or even like you said earlier, if we go with Caleb Williams, I'm for that as well. I just think we got a lot of different ways, so we should be able to compete with the rest of the teams in this division.
My thing is, no matter what, right? You want to come out of this draft with a receiver, you probably want to sign one.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the situation, whether you got Justin Fields or not.
Yeah.
I think because like, now you're starting to build this out. One, you have to go out and you have to get a center. I'm probably not starting a rookie center. We'll break down some of the free agent centers on another episode as well, as we lead up to our Breeze War Room Roundtable, baby. We got to set a date for that.
Yeah,
but
coming soon.
I'm probably not starting a rookie center to start this season. So I want to have this.
I don't know.
My thing is, I want to have as many wide receiver options as I can, so that no matter who the quarterback is set hut, drop back. I know somebody's getting open. It can't be set hut. Oh wow, no separation out there.
But you got some good options in the second round that I've talked about plenty, and I know we know one of them. The Powers Johnson from Oregon, Van Pran from Georgia. For me, if those guys were to be taken, you got to trust that, especially if you're taking them that high in the second round, you got to start those guys. I trust that if they pick one of them two, then yeah, you go forward with that. But yeah, if not, and maybe we get a project late in the later rounds for center, yeah, you're absolutely right. I would go. I
just feel like you missed your opportunity to sign the guy that could start day one, right? That was John Michael Schmitz. You could have signed him.
Hey, facts.
I mean, I'm sorry, you could have drafted him. He was there. He was available to you. You could have taken him.
Yeah.
You didn't.
Zach Frazier's a good one too, Tricky.
You missed. It's not to say I don't believe in the guys that we do have available to us, but I feel like you missed on how many centers start day one? Like, how many rookie centers are coming into the NFL and it's like, yep, he's got the answers, right? So no matter what, you want to have a guy that you can go out there and plug in and say he's a veteran. That's why, to me, I look at a guy like Evan Brown. Evan Brown, is he great? No. Is he amazing? No. Is he Lucas Patrick coming in, what Lucas Patrick was supposed to be? Probably. Solid guy. You plug him in. He's able to snap the football consistently over 16 games.
Yeah.
I mean? He can pass block okay. He can run block a lot better. I think those are guys that you have to look at to say, even if you draft a rookie center, and that's what they did out in Seattle this year, right? They had I can never get this boy in the last
You
name
said
right.
Bobby Jones or something like that?
Oluwatusi. But I don't know how to say his last name. No disrespect to the brother. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I thought you was gonna say Olu Candy.
No. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Rookie center. They took him last year. He ends up coming in. Boom.
Yeah.
Right. He's not ready to go. We got a veteran center in place. That's what I would want to see here in Chicago. But in that situation, right, I'm not telling you that he's an elite center. I'm telling you he's a good enough center. So I need enough receivers if I got Justin Fields back there. Yeah. Or if I got Caleb Williams or if I got Drake May, because when they drop back, they need to know somebody's getting open. And I think everybody on this list are guys you can trust.
Yeah.
Well, and just to comment on one of the chats, the Breeze is saying Van Fran is strictly a center. Well, that's what you want. I want somebody that you don't need to, that doesn't need to necessarily.
I don't want my center moving around.
I don't want them bouncing around.
Cross train them later.
I need somebody that actually knows what they're doing. They're set in their role and can be potentially there for the next 10 to 15 years or however long for this team. I don't need somebody that's just going to be, oh, well, you can play left tackle maybe. No, stay in your role.
Yeah, and I think that's the part that's interesting. And it also comes down to, right, what are we going to spend money on? What are we willing to say, I'm balling out on this? What are we willing to say, I'm spending real draft capital on this? Yeah, I mean, to me, I would rather see the draft capital spent on a guy who is legitimately just a center. Because if you're legitimately just a center, guess what I know you can do?
Play center.
Play center.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's all I need you to do.
We don't need projects.
I don't need you to play left tackle on this play. I don't need you to play right tackle on. I need you to play center. And that's why I look at a guy like Brown and say bring him in from Seattle. Yeah, that's why I look at guys like that, because at a minimum they can play center. We brought guards in and said play center.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like Cody Whitehair was a guard. He's played a ton of center here, but he was a guard.
Yeah.
Lucas Patrick is a guard.
Yeah.
And he's not good at that.
and look at the results. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'd be interested in that. How you guys feel about some of the other names on this list? Calvin Ridley's on this list. Marquise Brown is on this list. Curtis Samuel's on this list. Do you feel like those are guys that maybe you could get, if you miss out on the big name guys, that you'd be willing to risk, or would you just go with younger wide receivers at that point?
I'm cool with Curtis Samuel. I thought that Curtis Samuel was going to be a little bit better when he started out in Carolina. I was high on him, especially when I took him in my fantasy league at the first couple of years.
We saw that coming. Yeah.
Yep. But no, I didn't. I think that those are viable options, especially Hollywood Brown. I think he had a down year just because of everything that was going on in was in Arizona. But I like that. If you're talking, especially for those names, those are your possible slot receivers, right? Yeah. And so again, if you're addressing that need, then you go get your wide receiver 2 in the draft or your X receiver in the draft. Then yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I mean, even Tyler Boyd is not a bad option, honestly. Obviously, if we could get him, obviously I want T. Higgins, but like Tyler Boyd wouldn't be a nice consolation prize as well. I mean, like I said, and I think you said it earlier, we don't necessarily need a true number 1. We just need somebody competent enough to be your number 2. And if you got a number 2, and like I said, we're going to draft the wide receiver, I'm assuming we're going to need an edge rusher too. We're going to need a center, and we're going to need a tight end. But like if we're going to go with one of these top tier wide receivers, we don't necessarily have to have T. Higgins or have to have Calvin Ridley, even though it'd be nice. But I'm cool with Hollywood Brown. I'm cool with Tyler Boyd, because they possibly could be your number 2/number 3, depending on who you get to come in as your rookie wide receiver as well.
I think that's the conversation again, right? Talking about Ryan Poles giving themselves options here. You don't have to spend all the money on T. Higgins. If we were coming in with the wide receivers we had last year, you have to leave this free agency with one of these receivers. You have no choice.
No choice. Yeah.
This year, you have the draft capital again, right? That's the number 1. You're hoping for your long-term answer to be gotten in this draft. You're hoping for your Justin Jefferson, your Jamar Chase to be gotten in this draft. But if I go out and I sign Marquise Brown and I put him next to DJ Moore, ooh.
Yeah.
Right? Like now it's a different conversation. I go out and I get right. Michael Pittman is the number one. I probably come out of that going,
yeah.
Right.
Michael Pittman is the number two. Ooh. I'm back in on that. Okay.
You still got Cole Kmet. You still got Cole Kmet, who I think is ascending. And if you got that top tier, potentially a top tier tight end to go along with those wide receivers, man, you got some dogs out there, man.
We giving Cole Kmet top tier already?
I said potentially.
Yeah,
I'll say top 10, not top tier. I'll say top 10. Maybe
potentially. Potentially. I think he's ascending, man. This year he showed me a lot, man. His catch radius, his ability to track the ball down, and his speed. Like honestly, it's a good chance.
Yeah,
he can develop into being one of those, top tier receivers. Tight end.
I like Cole. I do think that he's improved immensely. I think that he has become a really good player as far as bringing the ball in. I feel like Cole looks for the tackle. Like when he's making plays, I'm always like, hey man, why you ain't try to like run around that guy?
Yeah,
he want a truck stick.
Yeah, he likes looking for contact. Yeah,
I mean, like it's almost like he like, and not even to say like be a finesse guy, but like I swear Cole will see like somebody coming to tackle him, he'd be like, I'm finna get tackled. He's like, hey man, like just go that way, like keep going that way. And maybe you wouldn't have got tackled. I don't know. But I do like that. I like that the Bears, again, you're talking about guys that have developed under here. I think that the Bears have a lot of really, really good options ahead of them. I love how Ryan Poles is building this out. I look at this wide receiver class right now. And I mean, listen, I think the thing is too, right? Who's the name that's going to be the odd man out? Is that going to be OBJ? I'm cool on OBJ. You say you like OBJ.
I do. Apparently, I don't know that he's a locker room cancer because I see people saying, "No, he's toxic. He's this. He's that." I didn't realize that. I don't know.
I don't know if he's a locker room.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
The team was 13-3, and he was on the sideline consoling Lamar Jackson after an interception. Like I don't know if he's a locker room.
Yeah, I'm not.
That's
sold
more
on
of an assumption. That's more what people perceive.
Yeah,
I think Baker feels that way, maybe.
but I don't know. I just think that
I think there's a very specific quarterback that feels like he's a locker room cancer. I don't think that the Ravens locker room was a mess this year. I don't think that the Rams locker room was a mess. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, they pretty much praised the guy the entire time, wanted to bring him back. I think he's a Baker cancer. I don't think that he's a locker room cancer.
Yeah.